This video is brought to you by MyFitnessPal, the #1 nutrition tracking app.
All right, today we're jumping right into a huge trend in the health and fitness world with our essential guide to counting macros. You've seen this hashtag, right? If you're on social media at all, it's pretty much impossible to miss. A quick search brings up more than 355,000 posts, people tagging everything from their gym selfies to their Sunday meal prep. So what's the big deal? Why is everyone suddenly obsessed with tracking their food like this? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what macros even are, then we'll get into the big three, figure out how to find your ratio, tackle the art of counting, and finally, see how this all fits into some really popular diets. All right, section 1. So first things first, what are macros anyway? It's pretty simple, actually. Macros is just the short, cool way of saying macronutrients. And these are the three main players your body needs in big amounts to function. Think of them as the fuel for your body's engine. You've got protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to demystify each of these big three, one by one. So first up, protein. And no, it is not just for bodybuilders. Protein is absolutely fundamental for every single one of us. It provides these things called amino acids, which are literally the building blocks for your whole body, helping you grow, maintain, and repair everything. And this is where it gets really interesting. Protein isn't just protein. You've got two main types. Complete proteins, which you mostly find in animal products, have all 9 of the essential amino acids your body can't make itself. Incomplete proteins, from plants, have some, but not all of them. That's why variety is so important if you're eating a plant-based diet. Okay, next up, carbs. Man, these things get such a bad rap, don't they? But here's the deal. They are your body's #1 preferred source of fuel. They break down into glucose, and that's what powers your brain, your muscles, pretty much everything you do. And this breaks it down perfectly. You've got your simple carbs, think candy, soda, that give you that quick burst of energy, followed by that awful crash. And then you've got complex carbs. These are the holy grail, right? They digest slowly, giving you that nice, steady energy that actually lasts. And last but not least, let's talk about fats. I know, it sounds a little weird to say you need to eat fat, but trust me, it is absolutely vital. Fats help you store energy, they fight off illness, and they give you essential fatty acids like omega-3s that your body can't make on its own. But here's the thing, and this is super important. Not all fats are created equal. You've got the good, unsaturated fats from things like nuts and seeds that actually help your body. And then you have the saturated fats, common in pizza and fast food. Those are the ones you got to watch out for, because they can increase your risk for heart disease. Okay, so we know what they are. Now for the big question. How do you figure out how much of each you actually need? And this is probably the most important thing to remember. There's no magic number here. It's not one size fits all. Your perfect macro ratio depends entirely on you, your age, how active you are, and what you're trying to accomplish. But if you're just starting out and need a solid baseline, this is a fantastic place to begin. A split of 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fat is a really balanced foundation that you can always tweak later based on how you feel. All right, section 4. This is the part that can seem a little intimidating, the math. But I promise you, it is way simpler than it looks. Let's make it make sense. You just need to remember 3 little numbers. That's it. First up, protein has 4 calories per gram. Carbohydrates, also 4 calories per gram. Easy enough, right? They're identical in that respect. And here's the one that's different, fat. It's more than double, packing 9 calories per gram. That's why high-fat foods are also so high in calories. Okay, let's see how this works in practice. Let's say your goal is 2,000 calories a day, and you're aiming for that 30% protein we talked about. Step 1, you figure out the calories. So 30% of 2,000, that's 600 calories. Step 2, you convert that to grams. Since protein is 4 calories per gram, you just divide 600 by 4. And boom, your target is 150 grams of protein. See? Not so scary? Okay, let's bring this all together and look at how these ratios actually play out in some super popular diets you've probably heard of. This chart is awesome because it lays it all out. You see paleo, which is pretty balanced. Then you've got keto over here, which totally flips the script, right? It slashes carbs way down to force your body to burn fat for fuel. And then there's IIFYM, if it fits your macros, which is like the ultimate flexible approach. As long as you hit your numbers, nothing is technically off limits.
And we have to say this because it is incredibly important. Before you jump into any new diet, whether it's counting macros or trying something specific like keto, please talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian first.
So there you have it. We've covered what macros are, how to count them, and how they fit into the bigger picture of different diets. But really, the main takeaway isn't just about the numbers. It's about understanding what you're putting on your plate, understanding the fuel you're giving your body. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you know the building blocks, how can that knowledge give you real power over your health goals?
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more insights brought to you by MyFitnessPal, the #1 nutrition tracking app.